Thank you for being here. May these conversations remind you that your tenderness is your strength. Welcome to the Tender Heart Podcast.
Okay, so I'm here today with Shakti Tracy, and we're going to be talking about money as a lover. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can do. Yeah, absolutely.
So I know that this is something that you've been working on and sharing and teaching for quite a while now.
Yeah, well, a couple of years, I think. Yeah.
Years, yeah. Will you share a bit more about it? Because I've not done your course.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I never ever thought I would be teaching about money. Just get me that, like, this is not something I ever planned to do. I'm not even that into like manifesting, demanding things from the universe, However, I also, training people as a breathwork facilitator, realised that actually a lot of things that were stopping people from stepping up into the world was, they were scared of asking for money. They were scared of even charging what they were worth, and I had that going on as well. I love sharing my work in the world, and I'd be much happier if I could do that all for free, to kind of get something in the way. But at the same time, like, I'm really proud of myself that I have created a business. I'm supporting myself, supporting my children as a single mother. So I created a 6-month program called Reclaim Your Money Power, and one of the sessions on that was about meeting money as a lover. And so this was actually, what if we didn't see money as being the root of all evil? What if we saw money as an equal partner? So it wasn't, and also it wasn't up here, it wasn't a God out of reach. What if we saw it as an equal partner?
Yeah.
It's a relationship, and we, instead of just treat it as a transactional energy or something that we ignore, that just pays the bills or we get annoyed with, we're actually sitting with, appreciate it for how it does turn up, and also ask how it wants us, how it wants to appreciate us, how it wants to treat us as a lover.
Okay. So more of an interaction.
So goes both ways. Yes, but then the more we started doing this, the more, and going on dating apps and seeing my own patterns with actual lovers, I've just realised, like, actually, how much these patterns, like, that turn up are exactly the same ones, the two turn up in relationships as well. And I thought, that's when it started getting really interesting. Yeah. Because then it becomes the possibility that actually we can heal our relationship patterns through this relationship with money. It doesn't become just about an energy to spend and buy things with it. If we turn to look at it, it's amazing what it reveals about itself, it reveals about us, actually. And, and like when you working with another human, they've always got their own issues going on. Whereas money hasn't really got that, they haven't got their own agenda. It's only ever there as a mirror to ourselves.
Yeah, and our relationship with money.
Yeah. So it can show up like, anxious attachment patterns, and this is the thing as well, it isn't always about how much money you've got,
No.
It's not about that, because you can't have enough money and still feel like you're in scarcity.
Yeah.
Or you could have enough money and feel like it's going to run out on you one day. You've got that fear of abandonment, or you've got that, or you've got a lot of money but you're not spending on yourself, or you've got a lot of money and you're in an abusive relationship with it, just spending on drink and drugs or food or whatever you're using to harm yourself. So, and also as well, it's like the depth. When we started looking at it as well, the depth that it goes, because it's not just what we're learning in this lifetime. It's all ancestral patterns, and this has been shown through, epigenetics as well, like the effects of the Holocaust on money patterns. My ancestral lineage is like from the Irish potato famine, and people coming over there as well. So it's like probably where I get a lot of the scarcity and things running out might come from. But so the more I went into it, the more I saw it mirrored both, and just that, that actually, can we come into deeper intimacy through that relationship with money? Can we bring money back to love, actually, and learn to love ourselves more with this relationship with money? I just find that really fascinating.
That is fascinating, I really feel, my relationship with money is, I've always had enough money. Money's always come to me. And there's also been some shame around having more money than others, and feeling like because I have money, I should give. And I also sometimes see that part that you mentioned before is like, oh, what if it all goes one day? And my father very much had that. But I also feel like money, for me, it represents that trust, that holding, that I'll look up, more that sort of masculine, if we sort of were to use those words. You know? There's enough for you. I've got you. I'll look after you.
No, absolutely. Yeah, because I suppose it can take on, like, and that's the thing as well. We can see it. We can look at it as like, what if money was the father? How would that change our action with it? And what if it was the mother? You know, what if it was an expression of the mother energy? Would it change how we would give more unconditionally? You know, so it's like it can actually be a mirror for all these different relationships as well. And did you grow up in the Northeast, Lisa?
No, I grew up in Denmark.
Right, so I think where we grew up as well, in the culture
absolutely
around money feels different now. So I think in the Northeast there is this socialist, idea around money that's very, inbred, and it's like if you step out of that, you lose that sense of belonging. You know, I really grew up with the time of the miners' strikes. I was taken to a lot of protests around, the closure of the shipyards, and my mum's, they were a very political sort of family. So growing up with that, that and I suppose I still have that in my work. It's like, okay, if I rise, I want to take everybody with us, and it's really a part of that. But there's the idea that if you do make money, you become the enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I was told, like, there's rich and there's poor, there's good and there's bad. That was absolutely what I was brought up with. So it is, and I think maybe that's why I've been given this to teach as well, because it's about, like, actually, can we dissolve those boundaries? Can we make it possible for everybody to, to be with this energy and, of manifestation? Really, I do think it's an energy where we can manifest for dreams. It's going to be a lot harder to do that without money. In
this world we need money. It's just the way it is, isn't it?
And if you've got money, you've not just got more things. And I think this is what turns a lot of people off around money, is because it's seen as something really consumerish. You know what I mean? It's like about buying things. It's like, okay, if you want more money, but actually it also gets you better mental health, usually longer lifespan, and
better quality food, everything.
You're not burning yourself out if you've got enough. You're not having to worry about how you're going to survive in your old age, and things like that. So you've got more security. But like I say, everybody's relationship with it's different. Some people feel like, oh, I've got the security, I'm fine in old age, but I'm not having fun with it now, so and then I'll talk about this because I'm writing a book about it as well, and so I talk about this as like the different money love languages actually as well.
I love that.
So they can have the one that is, your money love language. It might feel like, oh, I feel love when I do feel safe, and I've got money in, I can see money in my savings account, and that's what makes me feel really good. For me, I get a lot of enjoyment when I do get paid for things. It's like, oh, money's kind of giving me recognition for the work that I'm doing in the world, and that gives me recognition. But I'm not that good at actually spending the money, I don't, I don't often spend it on myself. I'm not that good. Whereas for some people, that's their love language. It's like, oh, money turns up and I can treat myself to really nice things, whereas I tend to spend it on training courses and things that'll help us to do more work, and then I'll get my love language, my recognition that way. But the when we start seeing that as well, it's like, okay, then we can develop all of these. If we look at all the different love languages, and then we can actually fill ourselves up with more of that love in all directions. And
I love that. Will you tell me about the love languages? Tell me about the money love. I've not heard about them before. It makes sense.
Yeah, well, I just made them up.
Well.
So I know earning's one of them. Spending, saving. What's the other ones? Or giving. Some people are, their money love language is giving, so they feel that real sense of reward when they're giving to charity or helping other people with the money, or spending on their children.
So do you mean that they connect to love in those circumstances?
They feel that sense of reward, or that sense of dopamine, that they feel like they're a good person, so they get that sense of reward. Like I say, like I would get it through recognition, they would get it through that sense, like, I'm a lovely person, so they would get it from from that act of giving. And I can't remember what the other one is.
It's all right. It wasn't meant to be shared. But it's fascinating.
That's a secret one for when I write a book.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to buy Tracy's book. Buy Tracy's book, you get the last one. Get them all. So but then if we can develop them all, if we become aware of them, it's like, okay, I'm focusing on this one, but why am I not spending my money? Why is that one out of balance? Or
you know, or you might be spending your money but not recognising it. It's like, okay, yeah, of course I'm spending money. I'm spending money on my rent for my house. I'm spending money on my fuel, you know, it's keeping me warm, you know, but then it's like, but I'm not looking at that and I'm not giving appreciation for that.
Yeah, there's so much underneath all of that. There's so much to unpack, isn't there? Because some people will see spending money as spending it on me, rather than, as you say, well, all these bloody bills. That doesn't feel like I'm spending, but it's still money that's going that way.
Yeah, and this is, and I think this is like when we start coming into it, like attachment patterns as well. It's like, okay, are you an avoidant? You know what I mean? Or you're not actually looking at how much, you know, this is doing for you as well. It's like, okay, we'll have all these bills that are getting paid out on direct debit now.
Yeah.
One of the, when we do like in the money power training, we do like a lot of shamanic journeys and stuff, and one of the most common things that come out when people ask Money, how do you want me to treat you, is Money says, I want to be touched. I want that physical intimacy again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I want to be touched. I want to be seen.
Oh, I can feel that.
Yeah, and it's funny because even though I wasn't one for even want money, because I often lose it. If it's in my pocket, I'll pull my phone out and the money's gone as well. But it wants, because it's like, okay, if we're cultivating intimacy, there's different types of intimacy as well, and one is that physical contact. It wants to be touched again. It wants to be seen. I mean, my money, when I do this journey, it actually gets really quite fancy. I say, how do you? It's like, I want incense, I want flowers. You know, really wants to be like really honoured and appreciated. You know, and I think it's because it is. Usually, it's just we're completely ignoring it.
Well, I'm thinking now, or noticing that I sort of take it for granted. It's like money always comes to me, and I know that it's going to be there, and I probably take it for granted. Yeah,
and they often say people who have money like really feel it when they do lose it as well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
And it's like because we have always like taken it, you know, like you say, it's just always expecting it that it would be there, and it, you know, and then when it's not, it's like, oh, that's that foundational sort of thing. Whereas, you know, because if you've never had money, or you know, that's the norm. It's just like, okay, this is the norm. I mean, I'm usually in this place of anxiety, but you know, and that's survival mode. But I'll carry on.
Yeah.
But the thing is as well, it's like, it is always there for all of we, because it infiltrates every aspect of our life. Even when we're in scarcity, it doesn't mean it's not in our energy field.
No, it can be totally in our energy field, right?
And it's like that, but it's like, it's okay to step back, and we're, and we're having that feeling we're having that experience of scarcity. We're having that experience where it's allowing these deeper patterns that might be mirroring other wounds to come to the surface. It's like, okay, well, how do I feel in that place of abandonment where I'm having to do all this by myself and haven't got that energetic support around us? What's that bringing up? And is that a mirror for other experiences in my life? Is that a mirror for when my partner left us? Could be, or that partner left recently as well. And now money's just been stopped that I would thought was coming in, you know, and it's like, okay, well, you know, and I think this is the thing, it's like, it can happen to it. You know, like, I know you're into personal growth as well. Anything can just happen to it. Or we can turn to look at it and say, actually, what's the deeper lesson? Yeah, what's the deeper experience? What's the deeper trigger that it's allowing me to come to the surface so that I can do this healing and work. And what's interesting for me is also, it's like, it's not just doing that, it's like the transformation.
Yeah.
That are actually the real practical transformation that I've seen in people. And like I say, it's not just about, oh, I've got more money, but at the same time, it's like unexpected windfalls, unexpected gifts, manifestations. You know, like the first time I did the 6-month training, it was actually all about, and it was funny as well, because I started the 6-month training, and I only started it because I did a terrible breathwork launch. I didn't have enough money, and so I started this, and I was excited to do the 6-month training, and everybody else started manifesting and started getting money coming in, and my money was just getting worse and worse. I didn't even share it. I was just like, just not share that. But what I did get was an increase in my self-worth. I repaired what I call like this core I am self, which is the sense of self, you know, that we're born with. And I really felt like this healing around this that came in for me. And then because of that, you know, the next time I did the training, it was like, okay, I believed in myself enough to allow money, to use my money to invest in myself and in my business. So I hired a lovely videographer, and he helped us to do some videos, and through doing that, it allowed me to be seen, to see myself differently, actually, as well as allow other people to see me in a new light. And then I found after that, like, then money was able to, it also, because I had that sense of worth, that I was worth more, I invested in myself, so I really reflected that, and and then I did my best breathwork launch ever. It sold out like about 2 months before it was due to open, and I had all of a sudden, and everyone was paying monthly as well, so I didn't just have like money turned up, I had it turned up consistently
which is good for you.
Which is like really what I always want in a relationship as well, not just someone who's going to be triggering my anxious attachment, coming and going, like, oh, is it all right to message them? It was like, no, I'm turning up for you now, you've got enough for the next year, paying monthly. And then it's funny, because then this time I've just done it as well, it's like, then it's turned up as gifts. Like I said, I've been given it like a free training. 6-month training. I was also given a free like business course, and I think it's interesting that it's turned up as trainings, because I did say before, that's all I spend my money on when so it's like, oh, you knew that. That's what I like to spend on. So that was £8,000 worth of trainings. Wow,
which you would have had to bring in somewhere one way or the other.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have been able to justify spending that much as well. So so it's like, but I think as well, it's like, okay, I was ready not to shift my money patterns from being the recognition of just earning it. Oh, that was the last gift, that was the last love language. It's funny, I forgot about that one actually. So receiving the gifts. So receiving money as gifts or winnings, so not having to work for them. Not having to work for them, and just unexpected. So it's interesting that I did forget that one.
Yeah, you did forget it, but it's there.
If what we've explored here today resonates with you, I'd love to invite you to go deeper. You can work with me one-to-one, or you can join one of my workshops. My desire is to create spaces where you can slow down, you can listen to your body, and you can reconnect with your truth. To really let your body soften, to let your truth unfold, and your pleasure return. Your pleasure is your birthright. You'll find all the details in the show notes.
I had to build up to be actually just ready for receiving without working for it.
I do not think that's a big one for many of us. Receiving, even in relationships, receiving a relationship without having to work hard.
To think that you're lovable, and that's a big pattern for me in relationships. It's like, oh, am I lovable, if I'm not saving you, to doing your washing or, whatever it is, and it's like, am I just lovable for who I am? Yeah. Can you just like, and that's like, it's a lot of healing in that as well. So I can definitely see the reflection of that going on as well.
And do you see that with people that you work? So do you do one-to-one work around this? I know that you do your group work and you're writing a book around it, which is obviously going to fill the world so they can learn. But do you do one-to-one work with it, or is it more?
So just in the I know, because it is one that you could go really.
Because because I do coaching, I've just worked with a client whose goal was to feel financially independent, and actually the money didn't change, but how she felt about it changed. So I imagine that
I think I've just never got round to. I would love to though, because I think it's I would love to do it, like do the program and do the one-to-one if you wanted to as well,
because there's an opportunity to go deeper if you're looking.
It really is. And to really, like I say, I think with anything, I think like I know you work with sexuality as well, and I think that money, sex and death are the big taboos in our society that you don't look at. And this is why even when I first created the course, I found it hard to advertise it online. It's like one of those things like, oh, a spiritual Shakti Tracy, now talking about money, are people going to perceive me as greedy? Are people going to see me as materialistic, or less loving or less genuine because I'm now teaching about money? So there was a real block around just like that being seen in it, and so but now I know how juicy it is, and it's like how everybody.
And it's not just about, and it's also our perception of money and what it means, and
absolutely. And I feel like people who are doing the training don't like to talk about it as much as well. And I've noticed that the difference. I know people that do other workshops, you often get a lot of shares about it, or people sharing about their experience, whereas. And I totally get it. Like, actually, it's a more personal thing that we're even. And I think it takes quite a lot of bravery actually to turn and to look and to do this work.
Yeah, it does.
And even I didn't really realise the depth that it goes to.
What they say, you teach best what you need to learn, and it seems as though, like me, we're learning all the time and then teaching as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's why I was giving it. It's like, okay, I'm giving you the course that I needed. So I just go along. and and I was and I really believe in that as well. It's like that transformational, that shared space. It's like, okay, I'm holding that space, I'm thinking, but we are on this journey together, we're creating this collective resonance of energy where we can all be part of that. And and I've always I've always brought that to our work. It's like, okay, and I always take that, it's not like I'm expecting people to be holding that space for me, but at the same time I really believe it demonstrates actually, I'm in this, and it gives permission for other people, to share and to also as well. It's not putting ourselves as like, I'm not ahead of you as a practitioner. I'm here, I'm holding the space, I'm holding the lead, I'm doing the work as well.
Yeah,
and that's my integrity. That's how I work as a teacher. It's like that's my integrity. It's like, okay, we're here, we're in this space, and I believe in that equality of a circle. I'm leading, maybe facilitating the circle, but we're all met as equals as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what sort of results do you I mean, I know some of the people, we mutual friends that have done your work and have said how things have suddenly changed and money's coming in. What other results do you?
Yeah, well, I think because of it's so varied, because everyone's coming from different places, but for some people it is leaving financially abusive relationships. I've seen that shift happening, because it's like coming into that recognition of what that should look like. I've had people who've been earning for the first time ever in years, who maybe been and it's like, I've got money in the bank for the first time, and I earned it myself, and that recognition. I've got people who are coming back into trust with money, like who maybe have had addictions in the past, and so their journey is like coming back into trust. It's like, okay, it's safe for me to hold money. It's safe for me to hold money, to be earning money, and to have money left at the end of the month. That's like a massive one. Like, I can have money and it just be left there at the end of the month.
So there's more than what I need.
And I'm not spending it on I'm not saying like, oh, I'm spending, I have to spend that. I'm safe to hold that money and not use it to abuse myself. It's all right to sit there. For other people, it has been like this came with like big ancestral lineage things as well. It's like, okay, it's safe to hold property again. It's safe to hold money. When there's been patterns in the past where, well, through the Holocaust and things, where it hadn't been, where their family did have money and wealth and had it, were in danger because of that, and had that ripped from them. And that journey of like, okay, no, I'm mending that, and I'm actually holding my own worth and property and things again. So it's so varied and so deep, depending on what everybody's coming with. But so it's so interesting to see, to just to be part of that journey. And so for a lot of people as well, it is just that like, okay, now I'm also stepping up in business, and I'm able to ask for prices that are fair, that are sustainable for me to be able to work in this way as well. So
I think that's a big one for many of us, isn't it? Knowing that they're not being greedy, and it's difficult to get the balance.
That idea of like, it's okay to look at what our financial ethics are, and I think it comes in even the consent and boundary work, so closely as well. It's like, actually we have to really give ourselves permission to put ourselves first. It's like we can be of service, but we've got to ultimately it's not service to anyone to burn ourselves out, to be in a codependent relationship with our work, to overgive, it's like all that I've done as well, but it's actually coming to like, okay, what is it that I need to for this to be able to work, and this to be able to happen sustainably long term, and just to come back into trust. And also it's really interesting as well, it does get like the energy behind it, and this step into power sometimes does get like quite sexy in the sessions. Like when we're coming in, it's like that sexy money lover, and there is an activation that can happen when we really allow ourselves to be open, because if you think, it's like, it is an expression of life energy. It's something that flows for everything else, and it's like, can't say, money's bad. And this is like what a lot of spiritual people do as well. It's like, everything's love, but not that money. That money stuff, I can't be seen with anything of that, and it's like, actually, what if that was part of like, the flow of energy, and we'll allow ourselves to fill us, to fill ourselves, and actually it can fill us with like more life force, more sexual energy, feel more empowered, more, and so really change ourselves energetically. And then from that place, this is where we can feel more in our power to take our purpose out into the world, to take actions and allow money to kind of be a co-collaborator in that. So it's like, okay, if I do allow money come in, how can that support me even more? So it's like, okay, you know, in lockdown I took my first business online, and it was ridiculously successful. I did a free workshops. I had like 200 people. I went from like leading workshops with 6 people in Newcastle to my first online workshops. I had 200 people in.
Wow.
On the back of that, I thought, I'll start, you know, I had no money coming in. I thought I'll start a membership.
Yeah.
And I just charged at the same sort of price as in Newcastle. I think there was 2 workshops a month, and so I charged £40 a month. But I had 40 people signing up. And so all of a sudden I had like £2,000 a month regular income. But I just didn't know how to hold that.
Right,
you know, it was, even though I paid for my branding, I paid for my nice little logo. But then I felt like too guilty to be able to hold that. I knew those people who couldn't afford like £40 a month. I knew those people coming along to my work, weren't coming along to my workshop, so paying that £40 a month, which is what I do with my gym membership, you know, but they were coming along, but then they weren't coming up, so I felt guilty about that.
But
And said, so nobody asked me to, but then I decided to reduce the price to £15 a month. And then no one asked us to as well, and I decided to make it all free.
Oh God.
I thought if it was free, everyone would come. It'd be the love revolution happening in my head. But actually what happened was I didn't have money's energy to support me anymore.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody to help with advertising, help with the branding, or to take my dream out into the world. So it was so it was a really
That's interesting isn't it?
lesson that I had that right at the beginning, but it was because my nervous system wasn't prepared. I hadn't done this in a work, so like I say, it was actually, even though, you know, you can wish for all the good stuff, but then, you know, even with love, it can come along and just feel like, I like this person too much, you know, are they going to be there? Are they going to cheat on me? Are they messaging other people, you know, and all the other stuff, because we haven't cleared
our own stuff,
and we haven't prepared our nervous system to accept the good stuff when it does turn up, you know. Exactly.
And I suppose there's so many layers to it, and it happens over time, and sometimes patience is needed. But it sounds as though it's really, I love the way that you're looking. It's really about getting to know yourself and your relationship with money even more. And the more that you're aware of it, then you can make changes, right?
Yeah, I think it's so, well, like you see, it's like anything. It's like if we become aware of our subconscious patterns, bring them into the consciousness, then it's like, okay, you know, we can change everything. And I think because money affects pretty much every aspect of our life, it really does. And it's and so this is why, like you see, your finances even don't have to change. No. But you can still feel more abundant. You can feel more safe. You can feel more secure. You can trust that it is going to turn up for you. So, you know, even though money was consistent for me this year, it's like, I've got a year's worth of thing. I still found myself worrying, but will people turn up next September?
Exactly.
You know, I still had the scarcity going on.
Yeah.
But will it actually...
just changed slightly.
Just like there was no like, no, it will, you know, or even, you know, if the worst happened, you know, I'd be able to go back on income support. You know, it was always going to be there, but you know, it's the feeling of scarcity. You know, it's like, okay, I'm financially better off than I have been before. I'm not in any debt. You know, I do have money left at the end of the month, but I can still have those feelings of scarcity. I can still have those feelings like, it's going to run out. Money's going to run. Money lover's going to...
It's going to run. Which is fair.
I'll be alone again.
And die eventually.
Actually, the first thing, when I did do the first ever journey with my money and love, it bought us one of them massage things that you can put over your shoulders. Like, this is the best. I was never even able to get a boyfriend who would like do this for this long and be like, I'm done. Me and you is for hours, money lover.
So do you do love making sort of rituals with money, or because you said that the money wants to be...
I know it wants to be really fancy.
It wants to be
It's a fancy lover, but I don't... I've got some on my mantelpiece, but I had to turn the heads round because I realised it was really triggering. Have the Queen's head and print the King. I was just like, oh really? but then since then I found out they're going to change it to animals, so I would like to think that is part of the shamanic work that we've been doing.
It's coming through
under the scene.
Yeah, I like that.
So maybe because want to work on the incense more.
That might work well.
So it's been interesting this thing, because like I say, every time we do this 6 month journey, it's been different, and because this time obviously there's been a lot of the, you know, the darker side of money coming to light as well, and I think it's been just really interesting to be aware of that, and also the, you know, the how much money has been abused, and you know, and that isn't separate to the work that we're doing. And I think it's actually even more important that as loving hearted people that we do actually get all right about holding money, and we get what ethics right about it. And it's like with any power, it's like, do you want this power in your hands, you know, or in somebody else's, you know? And I just really want it in the hands who people actually, who are doing it not just for themselves, but, you know, for the benefit of all beings. You know, we always bring that as an intention. It's like, okay, how can we, you know, the work that we're bringing through, or even money, do it with ethics,
rather than from this greed or
or to use it as a power. It's like, okay, then I'm going to use this as a power where I can abuse or hurt or other people, you know. And I truly think that's, money doesn't want that as well, you know. And I think that's why it's like this work is coming in, and it's like, why, because when we do this journey, and it tells you it wants this physical contact as well, and get people who see, like, because it wants that love to be touched, and to put that back into the, you know, you touch it and then you push it into your little slot and Morrison's and then somebody else like will pick it up, and it gets that love, gets back into that energy stream as well, and we're lifting that vibration. So it's because it was just, you know, its ultimate purpose, it can be an energy that can bring us fun, you know. It can bring us fun, it can help us to experience more of life, more of freedom, more of being in our true power, and our true power is never dominating, abusing, hurting other people, you know. And that's not, you know, never what it was about. So although it's always horrible, the stuff that's coming to the surface at the moment, I do believe it's part of that, like, healing.
Absolutely.
Had to happen, and it's good that it is happening.
Yeah. And how does money feel about this whole cashless system then?
Well, it doesn't like it.
It doesn't like it? Well,
because there's also different types of money intimacy. It's like, okay, it wants to be, one of the things is like physical intimacy. So and it's funny because and I'll tell people, bring some money along to the session when we do the online sessions, and I'll forget, and it's like, oh, it's not the same when you just got your cash bank card. You just got your bank card like sitting on your little altar in front of face, you know. And because it is like it being in more of an avoidant relationship. Yes. You know, so we're not even aware of how much money is actually doing for us in the background. You know, we'll have things going, getting paid out that we don't even know are getting paid out. You know, I just went through my subscriptions the other day, you know, and loads ad-free Netflix and, you know, things, you know, that you're not even using. And so how can we be in an intimate relationship with money when we don't even see what it's actually spending on, when we don't even see what's actually coming in?
Because we distance ourselves from it, don't we, in some ways. It's been it's easier, but there's also disconnection. That's had a big disconnection.
So it's like, even, you know, and a lot of people are even scared to look at the bank accounts, you know, and because they'll think, you know, especially if you're in debt or anything like that. But it's like, actually just, you know, just even training our nervous system, just to have a little look, you know, to celebrate, like, yay, no, I've had that money coming in, and oh, look, it's spent it on that rent, or even council tax, I help to pay for the services. And this is the thing as well, it's like, really appreciate, you know, what it is that we are spending it on. Like, don't feel like resentful that you have to pay taxes.
No, I don't actually. I'm actually happy to do it. I'm like, well, I live in this world where, you know, we get a lot, you know, and there are some people that don't want to pay taxes. I don't feel like that.
It's like a big chunk of my money always goes, you know, I pay for the fees for the breathwork training, because I use breathing spaces materials, and I love being able to give that money over, you know what I mean? I love it because I you know, I'm supporting like what his vision, and he's supported my vision, and it's like, okay, when we've got to pay these things, like, celebrate. It means you've been successful. If you've got to pay more taxes, that's great. You're really lucky. You know what I mean? It's really lucky. You know, I worked self-employed for years and never got to the level where you had to pay taxes. You know,
shows your success.
I know. It's like I'm actually paying them now. You know, so something's going right. So, but so it's, I think, when we're all paying money out and just allowing ourselves, and if you're not feeling that, like, just listen, like you say, just become aware of, like, okay, why am I feeling resentful?
Yeah, a lot of it is awareness, isn't it? And noticing the stories and what's really going on in the body while
Because resentful feels like you often feel like you're overgiving.
It can feel like you're not getting back what there's injustice going on or something like that.
There's injustice, and it's like, so that's the thing. It's like, okay, I've got resentment building in my little money relationship. It's like, okay, how can we repair this? Or like me and you were on this amazing breathwork launch or whatever it was, and we've it, you haven't come through for us, and you create a rupture. It's like, okay, how can we repair this? How can we not see like this is like something I've got to hold on to forever? I think this is a complete failure, because this is what you wouldn't do that if it was a really in any intimate relationship that you truly cared about, you would stop and you would say, actually, can we work on this? There's some resentment building up here, and I'm hearing this,
because rupture's always going to happen. It's a repair that shows.
So and that's the commitment to that long-term journey. It's like, okay, we are building something, because if we don't do the rupture repair, we're just and this is why a lot of manifestation things just don't speak to us as well, because it's like, oh, I'm a child and I'm demanding these things from the universe, and it's like, no, actually, what if it is a lover? It's an equal partnership, and we work together. We're not babies. No. We're not like spoiled little brats. It's like we take ourselves out of our power. Like doing that. It's like, okay, what if I'm a goddess? What if I'm, divine and money is too? Like, how do we lift ourselves to that higher thing? It's like, okay, what can we co-create together for the benefit of all beings?
I love that.
And this is the thing about like a lot of manifesting, even though it's seen in this spiritual world, it's often about individualism.
Yeah, but it also comes from a place of, so I love that you're seeing yourself as this the true goddess, right? Who manifests, who receives, who gives. But then there's like the ego goddess, which we all have access to as well, and maybe feels more entitled and and
it's not like saying like you can't have things for yourself, because like I say as well, we've got to put ourselves first. I would love to be able to buy my own house. I've always loved houses. I love Christmas when you can see in everybody's windows. I've always that's kind of like my thing. I would love to be able to do that. I don't know whether I'll ever be able to, being single, having the kids and the way, and being self-employed even. But yeah, I think we should absolutely be able to have our own dreams within that. And this is part of the money ethics as well. It's like, okay, how can I like really honour my own dreams and my own freedom, my own experience of life, and then also how can this be for the benefit of all beings? And for some people, it is enough, it's more than enough that you've created your own house, your own garden, you're able to just hold that energy, because nobody can judge what anybody else's path is as well, and I think it's about truly being in alignment to like your own love and truth as well, and your own ethics around things as well, and like I see, I've been in damaging relationships with work, even though I've been out there leading the most amazing workshops, lifting the planetary vibes, but it has been an unhealthy codependent relationship, because I haven't been being able to charge fairly, to be able to sustain myself, and so burning myself out really for the benefit of all beings isn't ethical either.
No, it's interesting. The last two relations the last one, he actually stole from me.
Right.
He took my money.
Yeah.
And he was a pathological liar as well. So that, those were lessons for me to look at as well.
Yeah.
And
I think it's so interesting, because my last relationship, there was a lot of, I suppose on a smaller level, but like, because I had addictions, but like stealing little bits of money that I knew were kind of going on as well. And I was questioning, well, why did I allow that? Where were my boundaries? Or perhaps for me, it was like, oh, I thought you would stay if I allowed that as well. Maybe the fear of losing that love and connection was more than it allowed me to ignore what I kind of knew. Probably was going on.
I had no idea. Well, hindsight's an amazing thing.
And again, I didn't, this is a hindsight. I would think, I'll not do that again.
Not do that again, because I know now.
But but like I say, it's just so interesting, how money does turn up, like you say, in love and relationships as well. And, even like patterns around whether we feel able to be financially supported by a partner, whether we're the one who is financially supporting, whether you're both on the equal. So I think, you know, how your finances are tied up together. You know, it's a complete new level.
I know.
To the full
There's a lot
story
in
as
that.
well. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just busy unpicking it being a single person here at the minute. Some of you haven't graduated to that level of.
I know there's a lot in it, especially I suppose later on in life where, you know, I suppose maybe it's different if you meet a partner in your 20s and you're building something together, whereas later on in life it is a different experience because you're coming together in a different way, aren't you?
Yeah, and I think it turns, because I think as well, even in your early 20s, you often meet someone who's at equal levels, and then it shifts when you have children, and often it is seen that, you know, often women, well, I left work, it wasn't really that financially better off for going into work because of childcare and things like that as well, but then that really shifted that power dynamic in that relationship as well, and then also maybe very financially vulnerable when that relationship ended as well, because we weren't married or anything like that, so it was just like having to start right from scratch with like 10 years of no work experience and all that as well.
Yeah, that's a lot to take on.
So it's, and I think maybe that's why that money journey, because you know, this is 10 years ago now, and it's that money journey of coming into that financial you know, sustainability, but also empowerment, why it actually has been like a really important part of my journey, and something I am actually really proud of, that I have, you know, I am running my own business, doing what I love, you know, and
amazing.
My kids are getting, you know, well, one's at uni now, one's 14 now, so it's like, yeah, I'm really proud.
Let's
you know.
Celebrate you. Yay! Oh, you're amazing.
Well, there's been many times where I have been like, you know,
well, you're human.
In Morrison's asking them for an application form. You know, just thinking, oh, it's been so much easier if I could just get a job. But yeah, it's not easy, especially being a single mom. But it's so worth it. You know,
it is,
to be able to have done that, and I am really pleased with myself.
Yeah, and you stuck to it. You followed your truth. Yeah.
And I feel like I've been lucky, like the people who I've met and the training opportunities I've had along the way as well, you know, to be able to lift that out, and to take the work online was a really big thing for me as well. To be able to step out of Newcastle and to teach online was, you know, was a big shift for me.
That is a big, And
it's funny as well, because I think before lockdown I was like, I hadn't even done a selfie. I didn't even do selfie photos, you know, never mind, you know, talking and doing videos, and, you know, that would have absolutely terrified me. But that also as well as like that deeper healing work. So I think for all of these steps, for bringing myself, making money, coming to the world, it's always been like, had to meet each level with deeper healing in myself. Like, it's safe to be out there, it's safe to be visible. Okay, someone's told everybody I'm a scam. Can I still return and not collapse, you know? And there would be times where that would have really floored me in the past, whereas now you're just kind of a bit more used to it, you know. And it's the thing about being out there online as well, that does...
It does happen. Not everyone's going to like you.
No.
And you may trigger some people.
I do. I remember once I decided to run some Facebook ads, and Facebook did a recommended audience, and I must have clicked it by accident. It was Nespresso loving men. Like, oh my God. They hated me.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. There was a lot of anger towards this. It was only a free thing I was offering as well, but there was a lot of anger towards it.
Interesting to receive that.
Unfortunate, but I think it's like this thing. It's like, I mean, there is like not nice people in the world, not kind people, you know.
Exactly, and again, that's about boundaries, isn't it?
I think you just do, you know. And it's like, but I think this, you know, the thing with everybody is like, if we can do that healing work to come into safety in ourselves, and like you say, even boundaries. It's like, okay, if I'm going to do ads, who's the audience that I need to get this in front of? Unfortunately, I don't, even though I love men coming to my trainings, I don't actually pay for ads where I go up in front of like men who I don't know anymore, because that was where I would always just get abuse.
Well, that makes sense then. So it's not safe for you to do that.
So but at the same time, I love, you know, men in the workshops, and that actually we can listen to each other's stories. You know, we can listen to, like, it hasn't been safe for me to be around women, and this triggers this. It hasn't been safe for me to be around men. I was taught not to trust any men as kids, or whatever the stories are. But actually, I think that's really important for the healing to happen as well. So I was really grateful for that as well.
So if someone's listening to this and they've never thought about money as a lover and they're curious, what would you recommend?
I would just recommend just by starting to, just start by giving some appreciation, like how it's already turning up for you.
Yeah.
I think that's the first thing of just like turning to look at it. We don't even have to think, or with deep, dark money patterns. It's just like, actually just how, look at your bank account today and see what's went out, you know, see, you know, and give some appreciation for that, like whether it's your gym membership, whether it's your council tax. It's like, oh look, there's some money there and it's taking care of this behind the scenes. You know,
I love that. I really feel that was the thing that I got out of it. It's like, oh wow, I'm not appreciating what's here. Yeah.
And you know, the deeper stuff, if you want to dig into the deeper stuff, it's there. You know, look at your nervous system, look at your lineage, your ancestral patterns, your divine masculine and feminine. It's all in a male female constructs. It's like, but the best is just like appreciate how it is already there. Yeah,
I think we as humans can be quite entitled and not really appreciate what's actually there, you know, in every area of our lives. So I think that's a really good place to start. And
because I think it could be like appreciation's more, some people say it's more important than love, actually, because it's such a like, actually I'm taking the time to really cherish you.
You know,
you could even get some cash out the bank and say, let's do this together, money, let's have a little look at that bank account together, and give you some appreciation. So just notice it more.
Thank you. I really appreciate you.
I
appreciate you. I feel a lot of appreciation. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your wisdom and your gifts, and we'll share information about you in the show notes if anyone wants to connect and learn more from you. Thank you, my love.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Tender Heart podcast. This touches my heart deeply. I would really love to stay in touch with you. So if you're feeling a yes, go to my website and join my mailing list.